So what is flow? Flow is in any activity, if you get immersed into it so much that you forget about your surroundings completely, that is called as flow. Are you getting it? So for example, if you are playing chess, you will be so much involved in the game that you will forget about what is happening in the surrounding, or you don't care anything about the other activities, right? So that kind of thing is called as a flow. You should always find activities where you can find flow, then you can focus on them and excel on it, right? Now the question is, I will just explain you flow formally. So basically the state in which people are so involved in an activity that nothing else seems to matter. Okay, so the experience itself is so enjoyable that people will do it even at great cost. So I mean, it is so enjoyable and you love it and you forget about everything, right? Now, how do you attain flow? So you should have these 7 properties. See, all these things I have read from different books and I have combined them so that you will understand it. So there is a book called Flow, there is a book called Ikigai. So if you read these books, you will understand these concepts, but I am just summarizing it, okay? So the research says that these are the 7 conditions for achieving flow. First condition is you should know what to do, okay? That clarity you should have. And then you should know how to do it, and then you should also keep track of how well you are doing it. Okay, you should have some metrics to measure it, and then you should know where to go. Where to go means the directions, like you should have the entire road map, and then you should have, it should be significantly challenging. So it should not be something easy, it should be something difficult. And then you should have the skills to do it, and you should be free from distractions. Okay, so these are the conditions to attain at flow. I will explain you. So first thing, the strategy 1 is choose a difficult task. So basically when you are choosing any task to do, it should be difficult enough and challenging enough, otherwise you will get bored. So take a task that we have a chance of completing but slightly outside your comfort zone. So which means the task that you have taken should be outside your comfort zone. It should push you outside your comfort zone. And then it should not be too easy. Okay, if it is too easy you will get bored, and if it is too difficult you will get frustrated and demotivated and you will give up. So basically you have to think about not too easy things, not too difficult things. You have to find a middle way there. Okay. And then second strategy is have clear and concrete objective, which means you should have your goal clear. What is that you are trying to achieve? You should have that clear. And then you should concentrate on a single task. This is the most important thing if you are trying to find your flow. You should not multitask. You should focus on a single task. I will explain you in detail what I mean. So basically our brains can take millions of bits of information. We can give your brain a lot of information, millions of bits, it will take it, but then it will not process all the information. It can only process few dozen per second, which means you can roughly say that in every 1 second our brain will process only 2 bytes. That's it. Okay. Now what happens when you are multitasking is, let us say you are doing task 1, and let us say this is the duration you have done task 1. Now you are shifting to task 2. Task 2. Okay. Now when you do multitasking, this shift from task 1 to task 2, this is called as context switching in computer science language, or you can call it switching if it is complex. Now task 1 is there, task 2 is there, and then you are switching between both the tasks. Now what happens is, the switching itself is taking a lot of time than doing the task. So if you keep on switching and doing a task, and if you keep on switching and doing a task, overall the amount of productive time is only these small squares, and you are wasting a lot of time in switching. So context switching in computers is different. That works differently. In computers, task time will be more, and then the switching time will be less, and again task time will be more. So that is why when you do multitasking in computers, it is efficient, but when you do multitasking in real lives, it is very, very inefficient. You are wasting a lot of time from switching from one task to the other task. For example, if you are practicing code and simultaneously if you are listening to a podcast, let us say this video, you are watching this video while writing the code. Now your brain will be switching from coding to this watching the video. That lot of time is wasted in switching and not in actually writing the code or watching the video. Okay, and then concentrating on one thing at a time may be the single most important factor in achieving flow. So if you want to get into flow, then you should focus on only one thing. There is no other way. This is the simple. If you want me to tell you what is the basic summary of this video, if you want to get into flow, focus on one single task. Okay, and then coming to technology is great, we all know that, only if you are in control of it. If you are controlling it, it is great, but if it is controlling, it is not great. For example, if you look at notifications, let us say you are on social media and you are on WhatsApp and all this, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all this, and you will keep getting notifications, and if those notifications are controlling you, then it is not great. But if you are controlling those notifications, then that's great. Now, many studies suggest that, this is actually research work, many studies suggest that working on several things at once lowers our productivity by 60%, which means you will be 60% less productive and your IQ will decrease more than 10 points. Okay, and how to deal with it is, don't look at any kind of screen for the first 1 hour after you wake up and the last hour before you sleep. So most of us have this habit. Immediately after waking up, we will look at the phone. So you should not do that. Research is saying that. So whatever I am saying here is all from the research. So you should not open any screen for the first 1 hour after you wake up, and also 1 hour before you sleep, so that your mind will go to sleep gradually. And then turn off your phone before you achieve flow. So whenever you are doing the most important activity, and if you want to focus on that activity, just turn off your mobile phone. Don't look at your mobile phone. And then this is very important point. So designate one day of the week, either Saturday or Sunday, you do technology fasting. So what is technology fasting is, don't use anything related to technology. Only Kindle, you can use something like that, Kindle, or anything not related, connected to internet. You can use such device, read books or do some other activity for the entire day. Don't do anything with technology. That is called technology fasting. And then go to a cafe like Coffee Day or some place where there is no Wi-Fi, and you work there if you want to focus on one single thing. Basically, run away from internet. And read and respond to emails only once or twice a day. So don't keep on checking your emails, or better turn off all the notifications and have 1 hour time every day in order to check all your social media or emails or whatever work it is. Okay, so don't do it throughout the day. Throughout the day, you focus on the main activity. And follow Pomodoro technique. Now what is Pomodoro technique is, you are supposed to work for 25 minutes, that is the maximum span we can focus, and then you take a break of 5 minutes. And by research, it is proven that Pomodoro really works well if you are trying to focus on a single task. So work for 25 minutes, have a break for 5 minutes, talk to your colleagues or friends for 5 minutes, and again get back to work. 25-5, 25-5, like that. And then start your work session with a ritual you enjoy and then end it with a reward. So basically, whenever you wake up, automatically you should do certain things. So one thing is working out. You can start your day by working out. And train your mind to return to the present whenever you find getting distracted. So you have to be, there is a very good book called Power of Now. So maybe that is somewhat difficult to understand, but if you can read that book, in that book the author says that talks about how to be in present. Most of the time we will be in the past or we will be in the future, we will be somewhere but not in the present, right? So sometimes you also see this, sometimes you will be having food and then you will be watching TV and you don't know whether your food has onions or not. You will not even focus on that, right? So you have to focus on the present. If you are not in the present, you have to consciously get yourself to the present. So you can read the book Power of Now where this point is being mentioned. And then do meditation or go for a walk or swim. These activities are important. And working in a space where you will not be distracted is important. So if you are a student and if you are working at home and if it is too much disturbing, like there are a lot of people at home and you are not able to focus, then it is not because you don't like to study, it is because the environment is not cooperative. Then you go to a library or you take a separate room and then you lock yourself up and then you study. So environment is very important, workspace. And then whatever unproductive things are, you bundle them all together and do it at once. For example, if you want to send some emails or make some calls or make some payments, bundle them all together for half an hour and do them together. Okay, thank you.